over our fluency, and now we're going to go over our morning work. What is our first number, Zachary? 70,689. Say that with me, class.
70,689.
Okay, and we've got to write this in word form. Alright, so when I write this in word form, what's the first thing I need to write?
70.
How in the world do I spell 70?
SEVENTY.
70,000. What goes after the word thousand?
Comma.
A comma, and then what's next?
689.
Do I put the word and 89? No. 89. What do I know about the number 89? It goes together like
salt and pepper.
So,
Put them together.
with a
Hyphen.
very nice. Alright, let's look at the bottom one. The bottom left. What is that number, Madison Hill? The bottom left. Madison Hill, the bottom left. Okay, I'm going to write exactly what she said. She said 3,000. Comma. What's next, Madison? 400. How do I spell the word 19, Madison? Can't hear you. Speak up, baby. Okay. How did you spell it, Madison? N-I-N. That's what I heard. How do I spell 19, Cameron?
Speak up.
Is that correct?
Yes. Wait, what? Wait. Yeah.
Why do you say no, Zachary? 19? Do I say 19? Or do I say 19?
19.
So 19 is one word. Alright, let's look at the very last one. The bottom one on the right. What's that word, or what's that number, Wyatt? The bottom right.
3,419.
The bottom right.
Right. 63,418.
Alright, 63,418. 400. Zachary, how do I spell 18?
T-E-E-N.
Another T or just one T?
Just one.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
That's right. What is my error in this problem, Kiana? On the board, what's my error? I have one error. Meaning I have one mistake. What's my mistake? I'm missing something. Kiana, what am I missing? It's on. It just went black. Do you see an error, Kiana? Look at yours compared to mine. Do I have all my hyphens? Do I have all my commas? I do? Hasten, what am I missing?
You're missing a hyphen.
Where?
Behind 60.
Because 63 go together like so.
Put them together.
With a Kiana, did you make that correction? You should have a hyphen. Does everybody understand word form?
Yes.
When I'm writing something in word form, does it matter how I spell it?
Yes.
Yes. Why does it matter? Because are these easy words or hard words? These are pretty easy. These are words that you've seen since you have been doing math. So these are words that you should be able to spell. If for some reason you're not able to spell them, you need to work on that at home, okay? Okay, get out your homework, please. Oh, I love this transition.
Skate back. Your desk back. Scoot back to her lip and
Oh no.
Okay, my first problem on my homework. If for some reason you did not do it, you need to sign the homework binder. The only problem that you should have known how to do is maybe the first one.
Yeah, that was easy.
Okay, well if you did it incorrect, you're about to make it. You're about to fix it.
Oh my god. Oh.
Baby, that doesn't go back to me fixing the board. Miss Jones can't fix the board. That's not my job to fix the board. Thank you for your K. I have given several of you the eye or the look, and you're still
Talking.
All right, the first one, it says list the first 6 multiples of 4. Multiples means what?
Many.
The word multiples, we know, means many. Now, we don't really know what many means, though. Like, how do we find many multiples? Because, guys, if I did a T-chart of the number 4, are there many?
No.
Not really. I can do 1 and 4, and I can do 2 and 2. Is that many?
No.
Not really.
No.
So a lot of you probably did that, and that's not the right answer. What if I were to say 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. How am I getting those numbers? Am I just thinking random numbers in my head?
Counting by 4.
I'm counting by 4. Okay, so a lot of you are saying counting by 4. Somebody else said something else. What is another way of saying counting by 4? Multiples of 4. Adding 4. What if
No.
what, John Parker? Skip counting. In the 3rd grade, we called it skip counting by what? 4. All of these things, guys, what do you think they really mean?
Counting by a number.
This would just mean that I'm finding the multiples of 4. It's just a new way of saying it. Rather than saying, oh, let's skip count by 4s, we're going to amp it up a little bit, just like instead of when we do the perimeter, we're just going to add, but in 4th grade, we amp it up and we do what?
Multiply.
Add and multiply. So instead of just saying, oh, we're going to skip count, we're going to add 4 each time. Miss James wants you to find the thank you. So when I find the multiples, guys, when I find the multiples of something, I want to show you. Really, all you're saying is 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3, 4 times 4, 4 times 5, 4 times 6. Multiples means to multiply. Multiples, multiply. So this one would be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. My red numbers are my multiples of 4. Does that make sense?
Oh my God.
These are my first 6 multiples of 4. So guys, I could say that the number 20 is a multiple of 4. Because I can count by 4s and eventually get to 20. Right? I can count by 4s and eventually get to 400. Because 4 times 100 would be 400. So 400, Luke Ellis, would be a multiple of 4. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, here I've listed your multiples of 4. This should be listed on your Monday homework. You can list it like this. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. If you are the type of person that does your homework for the whole entire week on Monday, and you got that first one wrong, or you tried it and didn't do it correctly because you weren't aware of how to do it, you need to make sure you fix Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Just because you did your homework all on Monday does not mean that you don't need to make those corrections as you learn the corrections, okay? Does anybody have any questions about multiples? Alright, let's move on to the next one. It says find the product of 23 times 7. If I'm looking at the problem, 23 times 7.
No.
How on earth do I solve this, Emma Riley?
21.
I multiply first 3 times 7. Why did I do that first, Emma Riley? Because I start with the what place? Ones place. What is 3 times 7? 21. So I put my 1 and I carry my 2. Alright, what do I do next, Carter? Why am I doing it next? Because I've already done the, and now I need to do the next place value, which is the 10s. So 7 times 2 is
16.
Is that right, Carter?
No.
Plus 2.
16.
Plus 2. What do you mean, Carter?
14 plus 2.
Where did you get plus 2? From carrying from the ones problem, right? So it's going to be 16. So 161 is the product of 23 and 7. Class, tell me the sentence that goes along with that answer. The product
Of 23 times 7 equals 161.
Okay, I think we can do it better because I didn't see any hand motions. So do it with hand motions and everybody should be participating. Go.
Define the product of 23 times 7 equals 161.
Okay, how do we show multiplication with our hands?
That's what I did.
How do we show is with our hands? Like an equal sign.
Like this.
So why are we kind of shady on that? Let's try that again. The
Product
of
23 times.
hang on.
ABC. Just line up line.
Okay. ABC, you may go.
ABC.
John Parker, do you need to take your stuff with you, like your lunch? Anything else with you? Alright, let's try that again. The
Product
of
23 times 7.
okay, do I say times or and?
And
Okay, let's try it again. The
product
of
23
and
7 equals 161.
is, not equals. We're showing the equal sign, so you say the word is. So listen to me. The product of 23 and 7 is 161. Very simple. Moving on. A rectangle has a length of 8 inches and a width of 9 inches. What is the perimeter of this rectangle? So I've got a rectangle, and it's got a 9 and it's got an 8. To find the perimeter, you've got to add and
Multiply.
so I would have P equals 9 times, how many times am I going to see 9? 2 plus, how many times am I going to see 8? So 9 times 2 is, plus 8 times 2 is 16. When I put those numbers together, I get what?
34 inches.
34 inches.
I guess you don't have to.
Yeah. So yeah. Let's put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
says list all of the factor pairs for the number 48. Is it prime or is it composite? Well, let's figure that out.
Okay.
So you can do it two ways. You can do the factor T. So I've got 48, and I would go 1 times
48.
4 times 2 times
24.
3
times 16.
4
12. 6 times 8.
6 times
8.
7 times anything. So I could flip it.
Over.
So 8 and 6, 12 and 4, 16 and 3. Miss Jones needs to write all these again.
Yeah.
So when I run out of room, see how I erased that? And I said, let me start over. It's not very neat. Okay, so 48.
Okay, that's it.
1 and 48. 2 and 24. 3 and 16. 4 and 6 and 8 and 6. 12 and 4. 16 and 3. 24 and 2. 48 and 1. So when I list the factor pairs, guys, I want you to notice real quick, all of these numbers are increasing, and all of these numbers are lowering. If these are increasing, these are decreasing. Guys, these are going up. Well, that might be a little confusing. But these are going up as you move down, and these are going down in value as you move down. Does that make sense?
No, it's going.
Because you're flipping it. Whenever you flip it and reverse it. Does that make sense? Okay. Whenever I were to do a rainbow, I would put 48. My first one would be 1 and 48. My second one would be 2 and 24. My third hoop would be 3 and 16. My fourth hoop would be 4 and 12. And my fifth one
That's a big rainbow.
would be 6 and 8. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's a big rainbow. Now, when I list factor pairs, how on earth do I have to list factor pairs, Kelly? Is my factor T enough?
No.
Kelly, you got a new hairdo. Kelly, how do I list factor pairs?
Ding, ding, ding.
Hasten, how do I list factor pairs? Alright, let me come see how y'all listed your factor pairs. How on earth do I list factor pairs? Would I mark it wrong if I just saw factor T?
No. Well, yes.
How do you list factor pairs, Haley? How on earth am I listing them? Remember, when you have one shoe, Wyatt, when you have one shoe, do you find the other shoe across the house?
Yes.
Not usually. If you're a neat person, you find your shoes are together. So factor pairs go, that's like a pair of shoes. Like you want your right shoe and your left shoe together. So you want your factors together. Miss James has showed you this. Have I not?
Yes, ma'am.
All last week you had factor pairs on your homework.
No. Yeah, we did.
And they've got to be listed this way. If they're not, you're going to get them marked wrong. If you do not have them listed this way, what should you be doing right this second? Huh? Okay. Let's do that. That way tonight when we do our homework and Miss James checks it tomorrow, you have your factor pairs done correctly. If you don't have enough room, you should turn over on the back and put number 1, or Monday, number whatever this is.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't have yours listed this way, you need to get them this way. Not just mark them wrong. Because marking them wrong isn't going to show you how to put it for tomorrow. You need to be writing what I'm writing. Writing what I am writing. Some of you are just being L-A-Z-Y. Miss James is not a fan. If Miss James is solving it and working it out, I'm doing it for a reason. I'm trying to help you guys. But if we're not going to help ourselves, Miss James isn't going to help us. You guys have the test on Thursday, not Miss James. Miss James already took her test. Alright, next it says find the sum. When I have to find the sum of something, what am I doing? Adding it together. So 791,562 plus 565,672. Add those together. 2 plus 2 is 4. 7 plus 6? 13. Carry your 1. 6 plus 5 is 11. Plus 1 is 12. Carry your 1. That will be 7. That will be 15. Carry your 1. And that will be 13. What do I need between this 1 and this 3? Why? What is this called? A what?
A period.
A period. And a period consists of 3 places or numbers. So I've got 3 here, so I need a comma. So the sum between 791,562 and 565,672 is 1,357,234. Do you see how I said that? That's how you should say it also. Alright, next. Let's look at the factor T for the number. What's this number? 56. The first one would be 1 and, what about 2? 2 and 28. 3. 4.
Yeah, 4.
Well, let's check 4. 4 divided into 56. That'll go 1 time. I'll be left with 16. How many times will 4 go into 16?
4 times.
So 4 and
14.
14. Thank you, Trinity. 5 and anything?
No.
6 and anything? 7 and anything? 7 times 8. Then I can flip it and reverse. Is this the factor T for 56?
Yeah.
Yes. Does this show factor pairs for 56?
No.
What, Madison? Why does this not show factor pairs, Zachary? Because factor pairs are listed how? In what?
And patterns. Wait, and least to greater.
What are these called? What is this and this called? Parentheses. What are factor pairs listed in? What are they listed in?
Parentheses.
What are factor pairs listed in?
Parentheses.
What are they listed in?
Parentheses.
I don't believe you. Kiana, what are factor pairs listed in? Can't hear you. What are these called? Parentheses. Say it. Parentheses. 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 You should know what parentheses are by now.
Yes, ma'am.
If I were going to list these, I would put 1,56. Semicolon. 2,28. Semicolon. Are we sure we understand this?
Yes,
Because this homework might be taken up for a grade tomorrow. Because some of you aren't trying, some of you aren't making corrections, and that is not making your dear teacher happy. Miss James is trying to tell you this to help you. Alright, you can put that away. Okay, if you will, go ahead and get out your band application from yesterday. Like quickly, Hasten.
Yes, ma'am.
Zachary, where's yours at? Okay, so is it ready?
Oh my god. Oh,
Lev. Also, I see several of you just shoving that morning work and that fluency in your desk or in your binder. Look at Luke Massey. He is clipping it in so that he doesn't lose it. That way tomorrow, if he needs any help, he can easily pull it out. Alright, you should have your paper that says homecoming band, and you should have your graph paper. And you should also have yesterday's graph paper. So look at Lena. Lena, hold yours up. Lena's got a total of 4 things on her table. She's got her graph paper from yesterday. She's got her 2 pieces of graph paper that are either together or are about to be together. And she's got her sheet that helps her with her T. That's what you should have out. Luke Massey's got it. Group 1's ready. Group 2's almost ready.
Oh.
Where's your paper at, Madison? Okay.
Oh.
Okay, guys, with that paper, let me see if I can find it up here.
Good. No,
So, guys, here's what we were doing yesterday. We started our homecoming band, and we said it was going to have how many in it? 64. Miss James had tryouts, and 64 people made it. Look, I left it on the board for us.
Oh, yeah.
So, with a partner, in a minute, I want you to look at something. Miss James and Miss Nelson, we decided we're going to put our 2 papers together. So now I have a huge football field, don't I?
Yeah, that's amazingly big.
Do you see how awesome my lines line up?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the very middle. Is it all crooked?
No, I can't tell a difference.
Right, because Miss James took her time and lined it up perfectly. Where my lines end up going together right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to get with a partner and you are going to create this. Now you're going to say, how on earth am I going to do that? Well, you have half of it. And you might have to undo yours gluing-wise because, see, he did a big chunk of his. And then you're going to get with your partner, and they're going to do that. You're going to put it together. Do you see how mine is put together? Uh-oh, mine came unglued a little. So, see, I have my big football field. Does everybody see my big football field? Then you are going to graph. What am I going to graph?
Your 64 people.
My
Factors.
of
64.
my factors of 64. And how many formations should I have?
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why on earth am I only going to have 7? Because will I do 8 by 8 2 different times? No. If I do the commutative property of 8 by 8, it's just what? 8 by 8. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
After you've done that, you need to make sure you put on your paper by so-and-so and so-and-so with your both of your numbers. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
If you mess up and need some more graph paper, I will put some up here. But you should get busy ASAP because we have one other activity to do with multiples.
Do you want us to put Holly in the bin?
I just want you to put the formations, please. Does everybody understand? You and a partner. Go. Group 2, I'm coming to you. Hasten, I'm coming to you. Emma Riley, go to group 2, please. Alright, I'm going to get some graph paper out for us. Remember, you can use colored pencils if you would like. Alright, I'm getting out graph paper right up here. That's graph paper, and so is this. There's plenty right there. Alright, group 2, if you will, please come sit on the floor right here. That means if your name is Trinity, Kelly, Kiana, Hasten, Emma Riley, I want you up here. Leo, I want you up here. Zachary, go find a partner. Okay, and I want you to sit it on the floor in a circle where Miss James can come sit with you. Get your papers and go sit down. Yeah.
Oh.
Alright, if y'all will scoot back, please. Carter, what do you need? You all scoot back a little bit.
No.
Scoot back a little bit. Scoot back a little bit. Miss James is going to join us. Okay. So Miss James has already created one for us. Just like this. But I do need some glue, so I'm going to fix it up for us a little bit. So can I borrow your glue? Alright, does everybody see, Leah? Does everybody see how I've kind of put this together? And you can see I lined my lines up so there's no problems. Does everybody see that? Okay, and I'm just going to put some extra glue on it where it's starting to come off. See? I'm going to put some glue where it started to come off. Does everybody see that? Okay. What is the first thing that I should do, Kelly? Huh? I'm sorry. Okay, besides writing our name, what should we do? What's our first factor we should do? 1 and 64. So does that mean one row or one column? One row of 64. Triana, would you mind doing one row of 64? I mean, Trinity. She's going to do one row of 64, and she's going to do it really neat with spaces in between. Why do we have spaces in between, Haston? Okay. Can you count out loud for us? Alright, stop real quick. I have a question. If I'm already at 23 people, am I going to have enough room to do 64? So do I need spaces on this one? No. So you can go ahead and fill in and count.
Yeah, I'll get mine.
Alright, so I need to have some colored pencils. Hey, so you get the colored pencils? Alright, and I'm going to need to draw around Leia. Sit down. Wyatt, just come sit with us, buddy. Hey, Haston, just bring the whole thing. Come on, buddy. Alright, so I've got my 1x64. What do I need to do now? Okay, can I get some colored pencils? Go look at the white thing and bring me the basket. Thank you, Wyatt. Alright, Trinity, tell me two colors you want to use.
I want red and black.
Red and black. So what is Miss James going to start doing? Why is it important to outline? Is it easier to find when I outline it? Alright, continue outlining, Kelly. And after I outline it, what am I going to do? I'm going to
Label.
What does label mean?
It means like you put like 1 times 64.
Telling me that shape is a what? 1 row by 64 columns. Notice how Kelly's going on the line by the circles or by the people's head. Does everybody see that? She's following on that line. That way it's not out in the open and messing everything up. Great job, Kelly. What is my next formation going to be? Look at my factor T. 2 and 32. Hey, remember, boys and girls, that if it has a star beside it, you do not need spaces in between. If it does not have a star, you must have spaces in between those formations. Don't forget to outline your formation, and don't forget to label your formation.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to give a black marker for you to label that one. Scoot back. Scoot back. Scoot back. Sit on your bottom. Bottom.
Like this.
Good job. One by. Let's see, I'll try to fix it. So she put a 1 by 64. That means that there is one row and 64 columns. Alright, the next one, we're gonna do 60, we're gonna do what? 2 by 32. What does that mean? It means 2 times 32 is 64, but how do I put that on here?
Well, you're gonna do
2 rows and
36.
look at your factor. 2 rows and
32.
okay, so Hasten, you're gonna do this one. 2 rows. Do I need spacing? Is there a star or not? So do I need spacing? Okay, so you do it. 2 rows. Notice how he's saying in my squares. Alright guys, you need to make sure you're hurrying along. You want to make sure you're hurrying along and almost finished with your project. Alright, so notice he counted, he went ahead and did one of his whole rows. And now he's filling in his top row. Alright, so I'm going to let Kiana label this one, or draw the rectangle around this one with the blue. Draw it quickly. And if I'm labeling this, what do I need to label it? Leo. 2 by 32. Very good job, Raleigh. She's being very careful and trying to stay on the line. So this is going to be labeled 2 by 32. That means there are 2 rows of 32 columns. Alright, my next one is a 4 by 16. Wyatt, would you draw a 4 by 16? Yes, baby, here. 4 by 16.
No.
Darn. Alright, Wyatt, is there a star by that one? Should there be space in between it? Okay, so let's try that again. Here. Try again. Spacing. So rows it. Oh, you can put it right there. Now skip a row. Skip a row. Skip a row. 4 rows. Now 16. Skip a column. Skip a column. Skip a column. What is a column? When I say skip a column, what does that mean? Okay, this is the column, right? So do I need to skip it? Yes. So my circle goes there. Okay, does that make sense? Yes or no, Wyatt? Now keep going, Wyatt. Does this make sense to everybody? Hey, you have 16 columns. That's 4 columns. Skip, skip, skip. This is 5 columns. 6 columns. How many more columns do I need? If I had 6, I need how many more? 10. I have 16 columns. Why you got to skip one? Be careful erasing. Yeah, because 16 take away 6 is 16. I mean, it's 10. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. 11. Keep going. 12. 4. You gotta skip a column. 14. 15. Alright, if you will start going back to your seat and cleaning up your project, I'll take that up until we can finish tomorrow. Alright, so now we need to outline this. When I outline this, what's the purpose of me outlining this? So that it's easier to see. And what is this formation? It's a well, it is an array, but what are my factor? What's my factor pair?
4 and 6, 16.
4 and 16. So that's a 4 by 16. Does that make sense so far?
Yes.
So right now I have 3 arrays. I have a 1 by 64, I have a 2 by 32, and I have a 4 by 16. What would my next one be? 8 times 8. We're going to finish this tomorrow, okay? If you will take your papers, your pencil, and your glue, and everything you brought, and go back to your seat. Alright, go ahead and pack up for reading. Alright, I'm going to come around and I'm going to take up your paper. Or you can bring it to me just like Luke has. Yeah, your name needs to be on it.